Hello! I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. Today the 1.55 patch to No Man's Sky dropped, and I'm going to be demonstrating some of the changes that this patch has brought. However, I will definitely not be reading all of the patch notes. This is a massive bug fix patch, and there's also some gameplay tweaks. There's something like 30 or more changes to the game in this one. So rather than reading the patch notes, I'm just going to be demonstrating a few of the ones that I can do here in game. But I will put a link to the full patch notes in the pinned comment of this video so you can read all of them. But first, I will be demonstrating that the efficient launch thruster blueprint is now available in space stations. This is a really good change because we knew that let's just look it up. Here it is. We knew that the efficient launch thrusters were in the game because sometimes you could buy ships that already had them preloaded, but there was no way to get the blueprint for it. Some people thought that, you know, it might be some kind of rare thing that was only buyable at certain space stations, but that's not the case. It's supposed to just be available to buy at any space station. So it was a bug that it wasn't available, and that's really good because the efficient launch thrusters are so good that it almost made it so you didn't want to play with any ship except the ones that had them preloaded. So now that you can buy the blueprint for the efficient launch thrusters, that's gonna make it much easier to choose whatever ship you want because you won't be stuck with ones with the efficient launch thrusters since it's such a good upgrade. Next is commodities are now available at space stations, and I'm pretty sure I know what it's talking about. Yeah, these things. Descented pheromone bottle, neuron microscope, instability injector. These are items that exist only for trading, and the point of them is you buy them en masse at one space station. Like here, it's 8.6% off in this space station. So if I bought a whole bunch of descented pheromone bottles, you need to figure out which economy these are in most demand in. So I would buy up a whole bunch of descented pheromone bottles and take them to, say, a industrial economy, and then sell them where they would be worth a lot more because they're in more demand there. And it's important that you have the economy scanner in your ship because then you can tell what economy all of these stars have. So I know people have made lists of the types of economies and what items sell best in them. So you'd probably have to look that up online to do this type of money making. But yeah, that's basically what you do. You buy up a whole bunch of an item in a space station where it's cheap, and then you go to the right type of economy and you sell them all at a better price. Okay, so that's it for that in the space station. Next is a very big important change, is the Purge Mission. I and many others got a bug in the Purge Mission that prevented us from progressing. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be showing some spoilers for the No Man's Sky storyline. So if you don't want to get these spoilers, skip to the part after I am no longer in the space anomaly, because I'm going to be going there in just a second, or at least I believe so. So I will exit the space station, and let's see what happens. I'm not getting a message from Nada and Polo. Usually I would get a message from Nada and Polo, but maybe I really do just need to warp to another star system and it will continue the purge. So let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and warp. Okay, let's see what happens. Ah, okay. Yeah, now I'm getting the call from Nada and Polo. So the next part of the video will have storyline spoilers as I talk to Nada and Polo. So if you don't want spoilers, skip to when I exit the space anomaly. Oh, and another change that we're seeing right now is they changed it so that the marker for the space anomaly is at the doorway of the anomaly instead of the center of the anomaly. That's kind of a good change because it's hard to tell which end to enter in. Or at least it was. Now it's easier. Alright. And my live stream series got halted because I was doing the storyline and this halted it. So after I do this video, I'll be concluding the storyline live stream series. But this part of the storyline will be in this video. You know now, don't you, of our simulated nature of the end? The Atlas, it is failing. It resets itself again and again and again in its panic, trying to purge what it sees as an anomaly. But each purge changes nothing. The boundaries continue to fall. Atlas will die in 16 but we do not have to go so soon. It does not have to delete us in fear. I do not know. I do not think we can know. Some things are external to the cycle. It wants you to go to the center. It wants you to be with it. Go there, traveler friend. You can try to stop it resetting itself. You trusted its path, and in that act of sympathy and creation, you have sent a message to the Atlas that creation for creation's sake is worth protecting, worth keeping alive. You may have saved countless universes from premature destruction. Nada and Polo will continue travels, continue acting as we always have. Now for Polo. Tremors echo through the universe, friend. Reality quakes have engulfed 80 dimensions since breakfast. You are lucky we found you. No, friends, do not talk about it. Polo seems pained. We are anomalous. We have amazing anomaly station, yes, but we are still fabricated beings. We not like you. Talk of nature brings pain, brings danger, but trust we know, friend. Trust we cry with you. That we will be with you, always, no matter the danger or the cost. You are friend. Not goodbye, friend, until we see each other again. Okay, so before this patch, whenever you would summon the space station with the mission, Nada and Polo would just say their normal stuff, and Polo would try to sell you technology. So you were never able to finish the objective to talk to them, and you could never continue to the next part of the mission. Okay, but now it seems that the Purge mission is fixed, so that part's good. Now the spoiler's over. So now I actually need to go down to a planet with life on it for the next one, I believe. The next fix is reduced time to scan discoveries. So after the next updates, scanning discoveries took a lot longer than ever before. I noticed it was very strong difference. So let's see if they fixed it. Oh good, that's a little bit faster. Doesn't seem a lot faster, but it seems a little bit better. Let's see if they fixed bird scanning at all. Oh, it still is kind of bad, but at least it scans faster. Yeah, I could definitely tell that it was scanning the birds a lot faster once it started scanning them. So yeah, that's a pretty good fix. So that's good. So they've they've improved the amount of time it takes to scan things. Okay, the next fix, it's going to take a little bit longer for me to get there, so I'm going to cut when I get to the point that I can demonstrate the next one. Okay, real quick one. They changed it so that buried technology modules only give salvage tech now. They do not give nanites anymore. Let's see if that's the case. Yep, I got salvage technology from that one. I'm assuming it's correct that they no longer give nanites. So if you were like me and you got annoyed whenever you got nanites from those because you were trying to get salvage tech to use in your blueprint analyzer, then that's a good change. Unless you were someone that wanted to use them to get nanites, then, well, that's not such a good change for you. But yeah, so now it's going to be a lot easier to get all of the salvage modules to buy all the stuff from the blueprint analyzer. Alright, on to the next. The next one is really important. They did a fix for certain lore lines that were stuck on only giving you the first entry, and this was really bad because it also applied to graves that you get portal glyphs from. So it was only possible to get the first portal glyph because the grave lore kept repeating every time. So now it should be possible for me to get the second glyph, because right now I just have the first glyph and I kept just getting this first lore line. So I'm going to talk to this traveler that I found, and I'm going to ask where they came from, pay 100 nanites, and so now it is showing me the location of a grave. So I am going to go down to that grave and we will see if it has the second lore line, or a lore line I haven't been getting, so that I can get a new portal glyph. Okay, here we are at the traveler grave. Let's see if it gives me a new lore entry and a portal glyph. Oh no, this is the same one. This is the first entry. Okay, so that still gave me the first entry, so it's either still bugged or I'm going to have to do yet another one and to continue the lore line. So I'm going to search and find another traveler NPC and try it one more time, and I will cut to when I get to the next grave and see if it's fixed. If the next grave also gives me the first lore entry, then we'll know it's still bugged and they haven't fixed it properly. Another star system. I found another traveler NPC and paid to find another grave, so hopefully this one will give me a new lore line, or new lore entry. Good, it worked. Traced signal to Korvax. I wanted to, granted with convergence in exchange for the price, extraction from my mind, their wrist, recovered, I gained there. Lied to us, convergence of bets, sentinel provided with tribute, carapace 2, Korvax helped them conceal. They are coming, fire please, step back, I. Okay, so this should give me a new glyph. Yes, okay, so if you are one that was trying to get glyphs and you kept getting the first lore entry, this fix did work, but it still started the lore line over, so you're going to have to pay for one more grave that will give you the first lore entry, and you still won't get a glyph. But then on your second attempt with a traveler, you will get a glyph for the second one. I saw some comments on Steam of people saying that it still didn't work, but that must have been because they only tried one grave, and you actually need to do a second grave in order to get the second entry. So it has been fixed, but you're still going to have to waste an extra 100 nanites redoing the first one again. But it does look like they got it working. So graves and probably abandoned buildings and boundary failure ring buildings on exotic planets are also have their lore lines fixed so that they will continue, and we can get portal glyphs. So that's it for that one. Next is a fix for the base computer archive missions. Now this was more of a rare bug because some people told me they were able to finish the base computer archive missions, but I heard of some people that it glitched for them, and mine got glitched as well. One of the times it said that the archives were ready, it put the marker on my freighter, and the freighter can't have a base computer on it, so there was nowhere to interact with. The marker was just in an empty hallway in my freighter, and if I went to any of my base computers, none of them would continue the lore line for the archives. So they did a fix for it. Let's see if it worked for me. I'm going to switch to that mission. Your base is in another system. I think it's still bugged. That's what it always said before, but it would just be a like a space station one that my freighter used to be at, but it didn't actually work. And in fact, I'm not even seeing it on here. So this fix may not have worked. So it's not there, and it's not on any of the names for my bases. So one more thing, I'll try interacting with my base computer and see if it'll work. It says teleport instantly using the space station teleporter, or construct a new base using the base computer. So maybe I can fix it by constructing a new base. Yeah, so the lore line is not working. I think the tip has changed though. It says, or construct a new base using the base computer. So maybe I can restart or continue the lore line by building another base computer. I'll try that again later, but if it doesn't work, I won't put it into this video. But I'll cut it into the end of the video if I am able to get it to work. If not, then that is still bugged for some people like me, and they can't continue the base archive line. But next is not a bug fix, but a tweak to gameplay. They changed the growth times for plants. So ever since the next update, a lot of timers are now real world time instead of gameplay time. Like your frigate expeditions are in real time, and also plants that you grow in your base are also grow in real time. So even if you close out the game, they still grow. So Hello Games realized, and they should have realized this before, but they realized that giving us almost unlimited base building was going to allow people to grow such huge farms that it would be the best way to make money in the game, and that would be like the only way most people are going to make money, because it's so much better than anything else. So they adjusted the growth times so that they're a lot longer now, but I believe they did increase how much money you can make from what you craft from your harvests. So it's kind of a rebalancing to kind of prevent a whole bunch of players from just farming constantly and doing nothing else. Let's look at how long the growth time is. Let's pick copyright, and then I can scan it. Yeah, so 10 hours. So copyright now takes 10 hours to grow. But like I said, that's real world time. So if you can harvest your crops, then you could go play a different game, go do something else, and then log in later and harvest your crops. Or another good thing about this change is that it allows you to do other things in the game to make money while you wait for your harvest to grow back. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to really dislike this. They're going to say it has ruined farming. Frost Crystals, it has a 5-hour growth time now. Now, on the PC Experimental, the growth times were a lot greater. Like Solanium its growth time is 47. Oh my gosh. It's still 48 hours. Oh, on PC Experimental they decreased it. But it seems like that change is still in effect on PlayStation 4. So yeah, that's really bad. Solanium and I believe Echinocactus now have 48 hour, no, okay, Echinocactus is 24 hours, which is still pretty bad. Honestly, I think 12 hours should be the max. 48 hours is terrible. They should not have made it that long. So that's going to pretty much make it so that nobody grows Solanium anymore, because no one wants to harvest something on one real life day, come back the next day, and it still isn't done growing yet. A 2-day growth time is not acceptable in my opinion. I am okay with this idea. I think it's good that, like, 5 hours is reasonable. If I have to wait 5 hours to harvest again, I could have a huge giant farm, I could harvest everything, make a lot of money, and then I could go do something else, make money another way, search ancient ruins, scan stuff, you know, buy trade commodities, and then 5 hours later I can harvest again. But 48 hours will definitely make players never grow Solanium again. They'll grow everything else besides that, but they're not going to grow a 48 growth time plant. Okay, let's check real quick what all the other growth times are. Gravitino host is, oh, it's only 40 minutes. That's nice. That might make Gravitino balls a pretty good crop. Gamma weed is 10 hours. That's not bad. So living glass is looking like a really good farm crop still, because it'll be a 10-hour thing that you can do every 10 hours. So you could do that once a day if you want. So if you prefer either to not play No Man's Sky all the time and you just want to log in once a day and harvest your crop, 10-hour growth time would be okay. So fungal mold is also 10 hours. That would make acid a viable crop, but you wouldn't be able to use the acid to make liquid explosive with Solanium unless you grew an insanely larger amount of Solanium. We already did frost crystal. Mordite is 20 hours. So Mordite is needed for acid, but you can get Mordite easily by killing creatures. So if you wanted to, you could grow the 10-hour mushrooms and just get the Mordite from creatures if you didn't want to wait on a 20-hour growth on the Mordite. Then last of all is Star Bramble, which I can't reach very well. Star Bramble is also 10 hours, not bad. So that'll be good for polyfiber. No, it won't. Well, the cacti is needed for polyfiber, so you could still make polyfiber, but polyfiber is 24 hours, so that would be good for a once-a-day harvest. But anyway, I like some things about this idea, but they definitely need to change Solanium. 48 hours is just too encumbering. This will change people's play style a lot. Some people will probably quit the game in disgust. I know a lot of people that, like, their main mission in life is to make huge farms and harvest them. I'm hoping it will encourage a lot of people to do other things besides just farming. I know I personally quit farming because the way farming used to be, it would encourage you to just sit there waiting for your plants to grow. But now the growth times are going to be so long that people will want to go do something else instead of waiting for their plants to grow. So I think it's good in the balancing of the game to bring a lot more variety so that you can't grind the same thing forever. Now granted, you could make it so that you could grow constantly, since you could have like 10 bases all with gigantic crops. You could potentially have so much that it would take you 5 hours to pick and craft all of it, and by the time you were done, the 5-hour plants would have grown again. But I don't think anyone's going to want to make that big of farms, especially since it's a bit harder to make farms now because plants require rare earth metals to plant instead of just planting the element that they give. So anyway, enough about all that. A lot of people are going to be upset about the growth time change. I'm not. I think it's good for game balancing, but they definitely need to fix Solanium. It's way too long, and it's yeah, that's no good. Okay, so that's it for the demonstrations, unless I'm able to get my base computer working, which I'll put at the end of the video. The only other thing I wanted to mention, because it was a pretty big deal, a lot of people were asking me about it, for legacy saves from before the No Man's Sky Next update, they made it so that you do have the large refiner, which I'm standing in front of. A lot of people could not get the large refiner, and also microchips. I think that might be a typo. I think they probably meant to say microprocessor, because I don't know of a recipe called microchip. I think they meant microprocessor. So microprocessors and large refiners and other advanced survival products are now available on your legacy saves. I'm not going to get on my old legacy saves. This is a new save, but please let me know in the comments if you are playing on a legacy save and you still don't have the large refiner. Just so you know, it is not in your portable technology. So if you look in your portable technology, it's not going to be there. That's not where it is. It is in permanent technology. See, there it is right there. So if you have a legacy save, go check if you have large refiner in your permanent technology, and let me know if you now have access to it. If you do not, then you need to do another bug fix and let them know that it didn't work. It didn't give you the large refiner. But I'm not going to check on my own legacy save, because I'm not really playing my legacy saves anymore. I'm just playing my new saves, and I may not ever go back to my old saves because I'm enjoying starting over from the beginning. But anyway, that does it for this video, unless I get the base archives working. So, I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything is going to be okay.